right, guys, Scott Miller checking back in with Music in Motion. We're working on, this will be our second installment for our video series on the 66 Carryall from Elite Resto Mods. I'll show you, we got a good portion of the trunk built out in the last video segment. There's obviously some more stuff to do, but if you watched our previous video there, you did see it completed. So just a little teaser for you guys. But part two here, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna get into some of the more behind the scene aspects, if you will. It's gonna be all of our cabling and our sound treatment. So this is what we have. The vehicle already has a motor swap done in here. It's a beautiful engine compartment. So we're gonna go ahead, the tricky part of this one is just gonna be keeping everything hidden. So again, we've got TechFlex to dress all of our cables, but we do have to make some upgrades under the hood here. So it's not just gonna be setting a fuse case and running a power wire, but we're gonna actually upgrade all the alternator cabling. We're gonna upgrade some grounds under there. Gonna get some grounds prepped to the frame rail just to make sure we have some good current flow and everything. We are doing a pretty large system in here from Arc Audio, so we're running about 4,000 or 4,500 watts in here. So it's super, super important that we get some good current flow, which all comes down to cable management. So the other things we're gonna be doing here is, let's take a look inside here. So we're not yet gonna mess with the doors. That'll be in the video doing our kick panels, doors, and A-pillars. But we are gonna get everything ripped out of here. So seats are coming out, center console's coming out, rear seats are coming out, the whole shebang. I mean, you can kind of hear, there's not a lot of echo in here right now, but there is definitely some sheet metal to treat. And I think we have roughly 110 square foot of treatment going in here. I mean, we did have the opportunity to drive this vehicle, and even though the motor is new and efficient, it is still a little noisy coming in the floor. So it's definitely some stuff we want to address just to kind of maximize our audio system. So without further ado, we're gonna start with the cabling aspects of this, and let's go ahead and get running. GoPro, stop recording. All right, guys, so we got the covers off of here. Gonna be a lot more straightforward than what we were. So we got the engine covers off. Our cabling looks like it's gonna be a little bit easier than what we had anticipated. There's actually a run that comes under here from the mass meter. So we should be able to snake our wires around to ground right here at the alternator. And then we have our power stud on the back of the alternator. This one's a little different than most applications. I guess the alternator feed goes directly inside to what would be a fuse panel, I'm assuming. Nothing comes back to the battery here. So we will change that. Obviously we're gonna come back to the battery, but we are gonna leave that cable that's there. I mean, anything additional is only gonna be a bonus. So as long as our cables are dressed and clean, and obviously with this engine compartment being the way it is, the intent was just to keep everything shaved, smooth, and just nice and clean. So what we're gonna do right now is anytime we mess with the charging system in a vehicle, we're just gonna take some initial measurements. I mean, our battery right now, we're sitting at 12.35, so it's been probably about a week or so since we've started this, so I could assume it'd be a little low like that, which would still be completely appropriate. But Megan's inside right now. She is gonna fire this thing up here momentarily. We're just gonna take a quick reading from the alternator, because it was a little squirrely driving it back. We just weren't getting the voltage that we wanted to see. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Megan, if you wanna go ahead and fire this thing up, hopefully it starts. But coming up now. All right, now that the idle's come down, so it looks like we have a step somewhere because the alternator is putting out about 14.6, which is amazing. However, the battery is only seeing about 13.9. So hopefully getting a cable jump from the alternator over should clear that issue up. But it looks like the alternator is definitely solid. Yeah, 14.6. So all these upgrades we make should be really beneficial. So you can go ahead and shut it off. Awesome. And thank goodness for new motors. I mean, this thing to fire right up after sitting for a week is definitely a blessing. So no pumping the pedals, messing with carburetors, smelling everything like gas. So definitely a plus there. So let's go ahead. We're gonna get some primary wire just to take a measurement of our cables. We'll get some cables cut. We'll upgrade the alternator first. So we're gonna do a ground at the ground stud here for the alternator. We're gonna do a power at the power stud. Again, this one's not going inside. We're gonna go directly to the battery here. Then we have our power that's gonna come off to some fusing to go to the back. We're actually gonna hide our isolator at the back battery, just again to keep the engine compartment clean. And then we are gonna upgrade some grounds. So let's go ahead and get moving. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the engine covers back on, but wanted to take a quick second to show you. So, and I'll get some better shots of this, but our fuse panel here, our cables come over, they stay tied up with a factory bracket here, come down here, and then we have our ground lug on the side. It's the closest. We didn't want to go to the front just because there's no flat surface there to put the lug, and this one's still basically hidden. It's not completely hidden, but it sticks just outside of the cover, which we would consider acceptable. We did upgrade our positive lug here as well. So we have aux gauge here, power ground run under. They run over through a fuse to our battery. These lugs are beautiful, man. These are from Il Customs. Really nice stuff. So I've used a lot of these blocks, but man, they bite, and the hardware is nice. I mean, kudos to those guys, man. They did a really nice job with these. So there's a lot of other nice ones out there, but I'll tell you what, they're pretty nice after having not used them in a while. So outside of that, man, everything's clean, ready to roll. So like I said, we're gonna put some engine covers back on, and then we'll close up under the hood here, and then that will be everything for us under the hood. We just have to tag our constant wire going to the back, our big aux gauge cable going back, but we'll get that treated and get that run to the back, and we'll keep on rolling. That was a lot smoother than what we expected. So engine covers back on, and here's to keeping rolling. So what we're gonna do right now is we just wanna give it one more test. All of our engine compartment is put back together, so engine covers are on, all the cables have been upgraded. The only ones, and we'll walk you around and show you here in just a moment, but the only thing that has not been run yet is we have the main power wire that's gonna go back to our battery isolator, secondary battery, all that. Fuse case is prep, we just have not got that wire connected yet. So what we wanted to do real quick is we were gonna take another quick measurement now that we've upgraded the cabling and just see if there was any difference. So, baby, if you wanna go ahead and start it. So we're ready. Wow. Yeah, it's really awesome. Rev it up just a little. Rev it up just a little. Little more, baby. All right, you're good. You can shut it off. Okay, so that was really significant. So you guys didn't get a chance to see, but we are now charging at the battery. I think before it was like 13.4 or 13.6. Do you remember what we said it was?
13.5 here, we said 13.6.
Okay, so at the battery now, we are 14.78. So awesome what that difference did. That was everything we needed. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna keep running some cables. We have quite a bit more to do, and then once we get to the back, we've got amplifiers to cable, the whole shebang. So let's go ahead and, without further ado, we'll go ahead and keep running. So you guys stay with us. So we went from super fast YouTube mode to getting a lot of stuff done behind the scenes because the seats really beat me up trying to take those out by myself. And then everything was just through bolted, man. It was a bear. So we got it out now. So let's show you where we're at. I mean, we're doing some cabling right now. So the whole thing's been treated on the floor. Everything's obviously out of it. Carpets are out of it and everything. So we have all of our cables. We've got speaker wires prepped up here for the 3 tweet that are going on the pillar. We got our kick panel wire down here for our mid-bass driver. We've got treatment in the kick panels. We're actually going to build a small little enclosure to utilize some of the airspace down in those kick panels. But we'll show you. I think it'll be pretty creative. So got all of our cables. This stuff from, man, this cable management tape is amazing. My OCD is completely smiling right now. So we got some of the stuff in the center console cleaned up. I don't know if we took any photos of that prior, but it wasn't bad by any means, but this is just a little more serviceable. Plus we're going to redesign the console, so we're going to create different points where we can get
where we can get access to the fuses and everything, because that's where all the OBD2 computers and all that are for the engine swap and stuff. So we're gonna keep on doing some cabling. I'm gonna get you guys set up in a super fast YouTube mode. After we do some cabling, we're gonna get the carpets back in here. Megan's gonna be working on that. We did get the radio wired. We got most of the cables run for that. We just have a little bit left to do. We are gonna do a little dash modification that might have been slightly unexpected, but Scott's really, really good at things like that. But so you're only as good as how well you fix your mistakes, right? So we're gonna keep on rolling. So, also upholstery guy, forgot about that. Upholstery guy picked up our seats. So hopefully we're having the seats wrapped. We'll get them done in a nice black to match everything and really, really complete the package in here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get you guys set up and let's do some work.
jumping around just a little bit. I wanted to get these situated. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of show you what the plan is for the doors here, because we're gonna get them stripped for a couple reasons. One, we need to build them, and two, we're still dyeing all the interior that was red is being painted black. So the doors, we're not making a huge change to. We're just gonna update them mildly. So like I said, the intent is to just get them stripped so we can paint them, but we are gonna rework this top section here just slightly. So we're gonna get the handle off, get the window crank off. We're not opposed to what's here. I mean, it's pretty common shape for older Chevy vehicles. I mean, this panel was on all the C10s, and I mean, this styling was pretty much what they did back in the day. So we're gonna probably stay true to a lot of it. We're just gonna kind of update it slightly. We do have a carpeted insert down at the bottom. Well, I say insert, it's just a panel right now. We're gonna make an insert out of it. So we're basically gonna do a new trim down at the bottom. We're gonna reduce this, get this to plug in, and then we hide some hardware, but get some vinyl characteristics down there. The top section is, again, like I said, we're not gonna do too much with it. We're probably just gonna rework it. We'll probably keep a similar shape out here. I'm thinking I'd like to get rid of the hardware that you see. I'm personally not a big fan of hardware, but it was kind of era specific for these builds. We may do some kind of a trim in this inset here. No promises, but I'm thinking maybe a piece of acrylic that insets there painted black, and then maybe we do an insert in the door. This plug is kind of where we would hide all of our hardware, get it to hold the door up, and yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So just, again, some rework, you know, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get you into a super fast YouTube mode. We're gonna take the 20 seconds or whatever it is to get these off of here, hopefully pretty painless. Then we're gonna prep them to go ahead and do the paint work. Schmeggy's still doing some stuff inside the truck with all that. We got our first coat on it last night, kind of off camera, so we're just cleaning up some spots. We're gonna try to get a second coat on it today, but running through. I know it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on, but just stay with us. It's a lot of build and a lot of trying to keep things organized, but for the most part, we're just having fun and hope you are too. So stay with us. We're gonna get running and onto the doors. So before I go completely hacking away at these, I pulled this bottom panel to find out that I don't even know, like, let me show you this. I've been in this industry a long time, and I have never seen a speaker shaped like that. So, I mean, I've seen some beaver cuts before, so that's a little lackluster, I guess you'd say, but this shape right here, I mean, that's a go, man. Whoever cut that, that's definitely pretty legit. So I know this is steel, so it's not the easiest, but come on, man. Like, this was like a bi-9 with an accent at the front or something. But what we're gonna do is, I guess, we're gonna go ahead and make an executive decision here. Megan and I were looking at how we're gonna get access into the door to do all the sound treatment. I think what the plan's gonna be is down here at the bottom, because of all this butchery down here, we're gonna go ahead and cut along this body line here. We're gonna open up the bottom cavity, and then we'd be able to get our full sound treatment in the doors and stuff. Normally, I don't like to just jump and cut cars. We always try to uphold the integrity of what was there from the beginning. When we talk about factory amplified systems, factory speakers, speaker placement, locations, we always try to respect what was there first. But I just think this is appropriate in this environment, man. So what we're gonna do, the other door didn't even have one. So that was kind of a shocker too. Maybe they're doing some kind of weird center channel in the driver's front doors. I don't know. But anyway, so we're gonna cut this open. Again, we're gonna cut just along our body line here. It's gonna give us full access to the door for all of our sound treatment, which I think will make an immense difference compared to what we had in here prior. All in all, executive decision made. So back to super fast YouTube mode. We're gonna get these cut open. We'll actually get some treatment laid up in these doors as well as we prep them, and keep on keeping on.